Okay, then here we go. Trying to see if I can find my way back home. I've only got 62 minutes to left on my camera for filming, so I am going to tax the battery to the max today. Hopefully it still has enough battery life to film my proper time going home. Get this Google Maps pulled up again. I think I see how to get home, but I am going to use the map regardless. And it's like I don't necessarily need to figure out how to get all the way to where I'm going. I just need to get on a certain portion of the highway. Let's see. Take me there. Start. Okay, I'm going to take a loop-de-loo and I'm going to get on the 54. And then once I'm on the 54, I think I know where I'm going, guys. Alright. Wish me the best of luck. And it is hot today. Well, it's probably just hot in my car because it's all sunny and whatnot. I was thinking about going to Arby's. I can't turn left. That's fine. I don't want to turn left anyway. Paying attention to road signs is a very important thing when driving. Pay attention to...
Head west on Stadium Boulevard toward Christie Drive.
That scared me. Alright, cool. Head west on Stadium towards Christie Drive. I think I want to turn left up here, don't I?
Take the next left onto Christie Drive, then turn right onto the US 54 East ramp.
Sounds good. I think I know what I'm doing. I still hate these roads, and I think this is a big old lame town, but that's okay. Their facility was really nice, actually, though. They had a new expansion built that is very nice, and I'm super excited to work with that. Oh, what is this? The lane.
Turn right onto the US 54 East ramp, then merge onto US 54 East.
Yeah, I see it. This is weird. Weird. Why do you build your roads so weird? Hate it. But I think once I'm on the 54, I think I know how to get home, or at least where I'm going. All right, let's go. Okay. Can I just ride the 54 for a while? Don't want to exit, I don't think. Ugh, I can't see where I'm going. My phone is giving me all the notifications right now. I don't need any notifications. I just need to know how to ride the 54, please. All right. Whew. So yeah, no, the facility was really nice. They have an expansion that they recently did that honestly makes me jealous. Like, I was like, I wish I was working out of this facility. It's funny because like where I live is in between these two major places, and where I live is consequently also where I grew up. And so there's a lot of people at that facility that I went to high school with, and it was odd at first. I was like, man, why am I running all these people I know? And then I kind of had to remember, like, yeah, because where you went to high school, you silly, is not that far away from where this place is. And so yeah, it was cool. Running into a bunch of people I knew. Nice facility. Honestly, I'm a little wishing that I was there. It's just because
in 2 miles, take the US 63 North exit toward Columbia.
Okay. I think I'm just jealous because it's a smaller facility. Like the facility I deal with right now is just so big, and sorry, I'm also trying to pay attention to where I'm going. The facility that I work at now is just so big that it's easy to get lost in these sorts of things. And I think I'm about to cross the bridge. 63. I think I'm in the right lane. I think I'm okay. I think I am okay. All right. But yeah, it's just easier to get lost in the shuffle where I am because it's such a bigger operation. Like, it's literally double the size of the one that I came or the one that I just visited today. And so it's easier to visit that one and be like, oh gosh, I wish I just worked here all the time. But like, the opportunities are not as plentiful, I'm sure. And so that's another thing that I have to kind of remind myself, and I have to kind of remember that, like, yes, this is a smaller facility, it's nice in its own way, but the opportunities are not there. And I now cannot remember if today is Tuesday or Wednesday. I just came to this real weird realization of like, I don't know what day it is. That's a great feeling. But at any rate, yeah, it was a nice facility, nice visit. It's nice to get
In half a mile, take the US 63 North exit toward Columbia.
I gotcha. It's nice to be able to get out and visit places and see different things during your workday. Like, I appreciated being invited to do that and being able to do that. There's a lot of
Take the US 63 North exit.
political stuff around this whole acquisition and what's going on there, and it's interesting because like I'm part of the newer branch of stuff going on, and so we're all just trying to find our way and figure out what all is going on, and I'm trying to figure out like what's best. And like I'm nervous that these people are going to come in here and more or less kind of make a mockery of what they're doing. Like, what they're doing is not a bad process. It's not like we're adopting a broken thing. Like in the instance of the facility that I'm in now, we're adopting a broken thing and we have to make it better. And what we're doing here doesn't necessarily feel that way. There's definitely opportunities to give it like a facelift and to make it process like cleaner, but like as far as like what's going on there, it doesn't seem all that miserable. Like you look at whenever we do tours of our area, it's far less organized, and it's just a big old mess of chaos, and I can't walk 2 steps without somebody trying to throw something or yell. It's not that bad, but it feels that bad. But anyway, so getting back to what I was saying, I'm afraid that we will make things worse for them by forcing assimilation on them. And not that we're forcing assimilation on them in a harmful or forceful way that we feel like, oh, what you're doing is inferior and you have to do it our way. I just have a feeling that it's easier if all of the facilities under your umbrella operate under the same notion, mentality, whatever you want to call it. And so by that ideology, it's easier to, how do I want to put this? It's easier to just have all your people do things the way that you're used to them doing it. And I am not convinced that present tense, the way we're doing things, is the best way to be doing them. And so for that notion, I am hoping that I get to be involved in the conversion here, and that I can be like, okay, no, we're going to preserve what you guys are already doing. We're going to do this instead, and it's going to be great, and you won't have to have a big old mess on your hands. Because honestly, the foundation's already there. You just got to reprint some labels so that the things match, and then the systems can do their thing. And that is ideally, when I'm thinking about it, that's the way that it needs to happen. And so I'm just hoping, because you hate to come into a situation and make things worse for people. Like, I'd hate for them to be like, oh gosh, we did this with these people and then now it's just terrible. That's not at all what I want for them. I want mostly for what they have in place to stay. And like I said, you really just gotta replace the labels so that our system works with their system, and you're fine. And so it'll be interesting to try and see and to try and figure out how we kind of combine together as one, what that looks like for both facilities. And like for me, I'm just excited to see my involvement in it. It's nice to be able to get away, and my boss was already kind of insinuating at it, but he's like, yeah, it's nice, but like, you know that 20 things that needed your attention happened while you were off site, and then all of a sudden you're creating problems at another place because you're at this place, and it's just the nature of the business. And I'd like to get to a point where the other primary facility is not that much of an ordeal, and to where like I can't go and visit another facility without worrying about things falling apart. And I don't think nothing major happened, nothing blew up while I was gone, but to the same end, like I understand what he's saying. Like, people are wanting things, and if you're not on site, it's inconvenient. And so like you should have on-site leaders, but that's also like where you draw the line between like a supervisor and a manager. Like, if I have a supervisor on site, then do I need to be on site 100% of the time too? And because like the way that this role was presented to me is that it was not going to be tied to just a single site. I was going to have several sites under me, and honestly that excited me because I like to be able to move from site to site. How exciting. I just noticed that when I said exciting earlier, so I figured I'd point it out. But at any rate, it's just an interesting situation to be in, and an interesting place to be, and I'm really hoping that I do get to be more involved with these other sites. And like, you know what, maybe I'll even have like a bit of a weird schedule where it's like on these days I go here and on that day I go there. And it sounds bonkers and inconvenient to most, but I think when you've grown so used to being sedentary, like not sedentary in the literal sense, but when I've grown so used to being owned by a single facility, like when I was at the first hospital that I started at, I was there the whole time. When I moved to the warehouse, I was there the whole time. When I'm now at this new facility, I've been there the whole time. And so it's nice to just break away and see something different. And like, I feel like that kind of goes for everybody. Like, I'm sure there's some people out there who want to stick with what they know and like to do what they do. And to a degree, I'm like that. I was just talking about that on my video out here. I don't get out and see the world all that much. And I don't know that I should feel bad for not having done that. Like, I am constantly like kicking myself more often than anything else for not doing more trips or doing more this or doing more that, and it's just not my cup of tea. And I have to try and defend my own decisions to myself. Like, why do I have to convince myself that it's okay not to want to go places and do things? Like, I take time off, I have a life, I do stuff outside of work, but like, in order to do something and have fun, I don't have to go somewhere, if that makes sense. Like, I have plenty of creative opportunities that get me going every day, that those are my cups of tea. And I always say, like, people have the bucket lists where they want to do all these things with their life, and they want to see the world and travel the world, and like, those are the common bucket list things, but those aren't my bucket list things. What my bucket list things are, like having my own cartoon, being able to record and release an entire album, like different creative ventures and avenues. Those are the things that I want to do. Like being in a movie, like starring in a movie, that would be another one. And those are the sorts of things that I strive for. I don't strive to go to the Bahamas. Instead of go to the Bahamas, it's create a cartoon. Instead of see Russia or China, it's star in a movie. And hey, you never know, like the movie might take you there. And like, it doesn't necessarily have to like star in the movie, just have like a good enough part in the movie. Like, I don't have to be the face of the movie, but also like making my own movie. And that's like getting back to our conversation from this morning about YouTube. That's the beauty of YouTube, is it really gives people a lot of those opportunities that were not so easily given before. Like, yes, anybody who's anybody with a camera could have always made a movie, but like getting that movie in front of an audience back before the internet, back before YouTube really, but back before the internet especially, was very difficult. And now, I mean, it's kind of ironic because people advertise social media in that way, but as a YouTube person, as a YouTube personality, an influencer, whatever you want to call me, who has little to no views on his videos, it honestly doesn't feel all that different. Like, yes, if I recorded a movie onto my dad's old VHS thing, did all the editing, put all this work into it, and made this masterful piece of work, like, how in the world would I get an audience to sit down and watch it and care about it and enjoy it? and you're really facing the same issues now with YouTube as you were back then. Like, just because I put it on YouTube doesn't guarantee people are going to see it. Like the Reels game, like with Instagram Reels and TikTok and all that stuff, they bring in tons of views, sure, but it's also a lot shorter of a content stream. Like, I've got someone's attention span for maybe 2 minutes, and like, generally speaking, like if you're writing a book, you have the first page to really grab a reader. Who knows, it might take that person 2 minutes just to read the first page. And then if you are making a movie, like maybe you've got the first 2 minutes or something of that movie to like grab people in, make them care. 2 minutes seems like really short for a movie, but at any rate, it's the same kind of thing. Like, all that TikTok and Instagram Reels are just hooks. You're just watching hooks over and over and over again, and some of them are like little skits and they're funny and all that stuff, but like nothing is long form and impactful coming from those platforms. And that is like the end game for me. Like, I write novels. I want those to be long form and impactful stories. I want to have a feature length film, and I want to make a full length album, and I want to make a cartoon, make a TV series. All these things that I want to do, none of them do I want to do shortly. I want to do them in their entirety, and that's honestly probably
in 2 miles, take the State Highway M, State Highway Y exit toward Ashland, Guthrie.
I forgot that she is still on. I know where I'm going now, so we're good. I don't need your directions anymore. Thank you. Come on, go away. Well, now she won't go away. I tap on the screen and she's like, too bad, you've committed to going to this place. And I can't get her to stop. Like, no, I don't need to. Alright, this route's done. Like, go away. Can I get it to go away? This is the struggle bus, because she's just going to yell at me this whole ride if I don't get her to acknowledge that we're good. We're good. I don't need to go there anymore. Lord. Phones are great when they do what they're supposed to do. And like, of course, trying to mess with this while it's, I'm just gonna unplug her so that you guys don't have to hear her yelling. But trying to mess with this whilst driving obviously is not the best way to do things. I'll probably just restart my phone because I don't know why it won't. I'm trying to get it to exit out of this pathway, and it's like, nope, you're doomed.
Take the State Highway M,
Yep.
State Highway Y exit toward Ashland, Guthrie.
You're fine. We're good. We don't need you anymore. I told it just how to get me like halfway to where I'm going, because once I get to a certain point, I know where I'm going, and now that I'm at that certain point, I don't need my GPS to keep yelling at me and telling me where to go. But it's going to do that anyway because it's a GPS and it loves me so much. So, at any rate, yeah, one would say we're about halfway through our journey. How long has it been? 18 minutes. How much film time? I got 42 minutes left to go. This is honestly going to be cutting it very close, fam. Like, I was able to take you guys on some unique journeys, like some unique commutes that you don't get to see very often. And that part of it feels really cool, but I may not have enough battery power on my camera to do the normal commute home, which is unfortunate, mostly because like I was excited to be able to not only show you guys something a little different, hopefully, but also to get an extra 2 videos out of today. Like, that's awesome. And like, honestly, the thing of it is, like, I don't even know how well of a like view you guys have on the scenery. So like, as far as you know, like, I'm just passing the same old stuff. And so I need to find, like, there's a little camera that I plan to buy that I think I can put like on a suction cup and like have it have a different view, and that might be a better view for you guys. But at any rate, trying to figure out what's going on there. But yeah, no, so hopefully you guys got to see a little bit of something different, but it looks like right now all you see is the sky. And the sky looks the same regardless of where I take you. So unfortunately, I may have just done all this for nothing, and I may not have enough battery life on my camera to do the return home trip. But I did 2 other unique trips, which are cool and exciting for me, at least. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I'm going to take a vacation on the 14th of December, and I'll be gone for several days. And I intend, like, I'm going to bring my camera with me. There's no questions about that. The camera's coming with. But I don't know that I'll be doing this form of content while I'm out there. And so I'll need to figure out, like, what kind of content can I do while I'm out there that will push things forward in this regards. Like, I shouldn't just let myself not film anything for a week and a half. Like, that's a good way to fall behind. But to the same end, like, I won't be filming 2 videos a day. So when little opportunities like this pop up to film 4 videos a day, I will gladly take it. Now, of course, if my camera dies between now and then, there's nothing I can do about that. But if it manages to still be a thing, and I get this other 4th recording out of it, then I'm 2 recordings ahead of where I should be. And like, I did the math wrong when I first did the math, and I was like, oh yeah, if I keep this up for 6 weeks, I'll have 42 videos. Boy, was I way off on the math. It actually comes out to like 81 or something like that. And 365 divided by 4, because I was thinking, like, could I at least get like a quarter of the videos done in this first run? But 365 divided by 4 is 91, which between like the audiobook series that I'm planning to release every Wednesday and the double videos that I'm doing till the end of the year, I should get pretty close to 91 videos, if not well over that much. And that's the other thing, like, if I hit 365 videos, I would be like, at what? If I'm a quarter ahead now, and the year has yet to start, and then after that next quarter, I'm then 2 quarters, I'm halfway there, and then after that quarter, I'm 3 quarters. So I think when I'm 3 quarters of the way through 2024, I should be done with all 365 videos. And then at that point, I need to figure out, like, at that point, what I'm doing right here will have been a well-established habit of mine. And I guess I'll have to play it by ear, in that if I actually get people on board who are watching and give a crap about what I'm saying and doing, then I can just keep doing it, and I'll just make it a habit until people stop caring. Or if I get to 365 and I still have the same amount of lackadaisical viewers that I've always had, then I can give up on it. Like, there's no sense in doing this every day for several years if it's not getting me anywhere. And like, there's always that thought in the back of your mind, like, am I quitting too soon? Like, did I give this the proper chance before saying, oh, to heck with it, I don't need to do this? And that's a very valid question to ask yourself. Like, what constitutes a substantial enough amount of effort for something before you can accurately say, yes, I gave it enough time, or no, I did not give it enough time? And that is, to me, a hard thing to gauge, because enough time sometimes is like a couple months, where in other instances it's a whole year. Like, technically, I have been uploading YouTube videos as like probably a serious hobby since 21. I started a series of Life is Strange videos, and there is a lot of YouTubers who cover that franchise and do a lot of content in or around that franchise. And I thought for a very long time, like, this is how I am going to get known on YouTube, is through the Life is Strange franchise. I was gonna watch a bunch of videos, make a bunch of videos, and I did make a bunch of videos, and some of them are some of my more popular videos. Actually, in fact, I think my most popular video on my channel as of recording this is a Life is Strange video explaining how to save Gabe in Life is Strange 3, which is a joke because it's not actually possible to save the guy, but I feel like it was a pretty funny video, and it's garnered me a lot of views, which is cool. But just like anything, your journey moves and you kind of move with it and figure out where you're going. And Life is Strange was not going to be something to carry my channel, and like that's why most people don't dedicate a channel to a single game or game franchise. They like, oh, we play first-person shooters here. There's a lot more first-person shooters out there in the world than there are Halo entries. And so I'm thinking that was like the beginning of when I first started being like, okay, I'm going to take YouTube seriously. I'm going to edit these videos together. They're going to be great. It's going to be a big deal. And that was around, I want to say 21 or so that I started doing those, because it was around the same time that I had just gotten into my house, because I had technically started the videos when I was still at my parents', and because I played, I want to say I played Life is Strange 2 the first time in 2020, and like those COVID years always blend together for me. 19, 20, and 21 are all just kind of one big blur. But I want to say that I played Life is Strange 2 November, maybe it was November of 19 going into 20. No, I think it was November of 20 going into 21, because I feel like Life is Strange 2 finished in 2018 or something like that. Like, the game wasn't super old when I played it, but it wasn't new either, so I'd have to look at when it ended versus when I picked it up and all that stuff. But at any rate, and that game like had a huge impact on me, like personally. Like me and that game had a very good relationship, and it still to this day means a lot to me. And a lot of the things that I do is striving to capture the amazingness that game held for me on a multitude of reasons. And I have tons of videos about that, and I'm not going to dive into it now, but you can see like how much I enjoy the topic, because here I am like getting this close to talking to you guys about it all over again. And so at any rate, I started my YouTube journey, like I said, probably end of 20 going into 21, because after I beat Life is Strange, I can remember sitting down, I was holding my fancy microphone, and I was sitting at a couch in my old room in my parents' place, and I would just rant on for each episode of Life is Strange. And then there was kind of a lot there, because I did an interview for one of my books in that same couch corner, and then I talked about how to deal with like criticisms, because I got nailed pretty hard for that book in that couch corner. And then of course when I moved out, I found kind of the center space of my living room as my new film space. And so I filmed a lot of content for Life is Strange in that space. I started using a lot more game footage too, because at the time I was not using a whole heck of a lot of game footage. I was just doing a lot of blah 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 blah. Can't think of my words. I was just doing a lot of like me sitting here talking, and that was like around the time where it was like, you should really be splicing your videos together, putting more effort into your editing. And so I was like, okay, so I will have like me sit down and do the whole dialogue, and then I'll splice in clips from the show, and like some of the clips I'll be talking over, some of the clips will have original audio, and we'll just go from there. Well, that lasted for however long it lasted. I did a lot of videos about Life is Strange 2. I did a couple of videos about Life is Strange 1, and I did a decent amount of videos about Life is Strange 3. And Life is Strange 3, being as disappointing of a game as it is, really kind of killed it for me, because I could only pull so much content out of something I don't like. And then the videos kind of died after that point. I took up writing probably, well no, I'd been writing that whole time, but I probably started making writing videos after Life is Strange had kind of gone away. And like I was still trying to dedicate some time on my channel to like story-based games, but it's not like I was getting a whole lot of attention for it anyway, so I didn't really do a whole lot with it. And then So and I really feel like it wasn't until like this year I made that video about the 380 CDs that I own, and I'm well over 1,000 now. But I made that video in an effort to just kind of resurge my want for YouTube, and it started the format that I most recently upheld up until I just started doing these, which was essentially just me in my little CD alcove giving riding advice, giving life advice, giving advice, and kind of doing that. And it's a more structured, less authentic version of what I'm doing now, really, in that I always wanted to do videos without a script and just be like, you know what, whatever I feel like talking about is what I'm going to talk about. And that's more or less what this is. Like, I get in my car, I drive to work, and whatever pops up in my head is what I talk to you guys about. And as the drive continues, I think of other things to talk to you about. And so it's interesting to me to see how these things have evolved. But like back then, or with those, I was splicing clips still, and I was talking, and I was trying to be a lot more of a personality. And like, not to say that I don't think I have a personality now, but there's definitely a difference between like me just having a conversation with you and me like exploding at the camera every day. And so hopefully, as I said before, hopefully these are good. Hopefully these are good times to be enjoyed, and we can keep this going. And this is a format that's like agreeable with everyone. But I probably won't ever like get away from the highly edited projects either. I'll probably try and sprinkle them in, but they are just like significantly more of a time suck than like these videos are. Like, I have to talk to you, or I don't have to talk to you, but I have to drive to and from places anyway. And that's like been my biggest thing for like efficiency, is finding ways to do things whilst doing things that you have to do, if that makes sense. Like, I have to drive to work. So if I have to drive to work, can I also film videos while I drive to work? And the answer to that question appears to be yes. Yes, I can. I am driving to Arby's right now, and when I get to the drive-thru, I will have to turn you guys off, and then maybe I'll film myself eating. I don't know. That a lot of people are turned off by like videos of people eating, and they're like, ew, I don't want to watch you eat. But I'm just trying to think of like different things to do to kind of break up the monotony of like me driving and commuting all the time. And so maybe I'll get some good food videos, but that's also going to depend on how much battery life my camera says it has by the time this is all said and done. We're at 26 minutes of battery life left on the camera, and it's about an 18-minute drive home if I am going a decent speed. So we are going to be cutting it extremely close on the way home, fam. And unfortunately, I don't have a charger for my camera handy, so it's not like I can just plug that bad boy in at work, because that would be the obvious solution. Or I have portable power too. That has been like one of the greatest inventions ever. I have a portable power source that I could start taking with me and plugging in. But realistically speaking, I shouldn't be making 4 videos a day very often. I have to block the sun, but I feel like that's going to make your guys' view very ugly, so I will grin and bear it for the sake of better views, because I don't think you guys want to stare at my sun visor. And like right now, what little bit of the sky you get to see is like the only bit of town you get to see at all. And maybe you even get to see some people's cars, maybe. I don't know. I'm in a pretty low profile vehicle, so yeah, I bet you probably get to see a lot of cars. But yes, so that has been like the summary of my YouTube journey. I've technically been uploading things to YouTube since well before these videos. I need to get in the turning lane. I think I'm in the turning lane now. No, I don't think I am. I think I'm still in the go straight lane. Is anybody gonna let me over? Anybody gonna let me over? Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. But yeah, so this is the first time that I've ever really seriously well, no, it's not the first time I've seriously done YouTube, but it's the first time I've done YouTube in this capacity, that's for sure. Like, before this, I was trying to average like an every Wednesday release. Wednesdays at 8 was my time, and so going from Wednesdays at 8 to every day at 8 is definitely a huge jump, but I think it's a good project, and it's kind of inspiring, influencing, however you want to put it. It's making me feel better about myself and things, and a lot of people say that like you have to make the success happen, and that you have to like believe it and to like make it exist. I guess I have the right of way, so I'll go. Ooh. And so with that being said, I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're at Arby's now. But with that being said, I don't think that's the right lane there, buddy. I think that's the one lane that you go out from and not into. But anyway, so yeah, we're approaching the drive-thru, so I'm gonna shut you guys down, and then I might do some cool eating footage, because that's fun. But for now, goodbye.